welcome to, oh boy, Tom hasn't played this game in a while. SteamWorld Quest. Thank you so much for stopping by. Howdy Red Mage, howdy MDH. Thank you so much for being ever so heckin' prompt. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a speedrun of this game, so. Oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna do one run. I'm feeling a little tired today. But we're gonna do one speed run of this. Also, I should change the title. I'm gonna be doing one speed run of this. It's gonna be a very, very rusty run. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be. I'm expecting it's gonna take like 2.5 hours because I have. All of my muscle memory for this run is gone. But yeah, but I want to do a speedrun of this, see how I'm feeling about it. I've submitted Yakuza to SGDQ in between last night and now. I've also decided, because it was a part of my charity incentive and I'm relatively confident in my previous submission video, even though it was for RPG Limit Break, I felt comfortable in that submission video that I decided to use that to submit to SGDQ as well. So this run has also been submitted. As well as, yeah, it was a part of the charity to get off my butt and submit these dang runs to SGDQ. So I did it. They're submitted. But after we do this run, I want to capture some incentive footage. I'm gonna capture it during this run. There's only one incentive that I can think of for SteamWorld Quest any % run, and that is to fight the duck truck in chapter 13. Or chapter 14. That's the only incentive I can think of at all. But then I'm gonna hop into Yakuza Like a Dragon and record the incentives there, which I would be recording two things. I would be recording the Essence showcase and the Pound Mate showcase, and then I'd be showcasing the costume selection. So I want to capture that footage because incentives are sent in separately from the game submission. So I want to capture that footage today during this stream, and then cut that down tonight, and then hopefully submit the incentives tomorrow. The incentives don't need to be submitted in as much time. They just need to be submitted by the time the schedule is released, which is probably not going to be for another month. So I got time for the incentives, but I want to, while it's still relatively fresh in my mind, I want to get those incentives submitted right away. So yeah. Also, howdy, Doc. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the good luck. And oh boy, this is gonna be a time. Have I gotten to run something out of GDQ before? No. I've never submitted to GDQ. I've only submitted one speed run to a marathon. And it was actually this game. I submitted SteamWorld Quest any % Squire to RPG Limit Break back in 2020. 2 years ago, and it actually got accepted. I was gonna be doing this run at RPG Limit Break 2020, but then obviously COVID and the pandemic happened, so that event was canceled. And they were going to grandfather the previous year's runs into the next year's event, but obviously RPG Limit Break 2021 did not happen because we were still in the middle of the pandemic, And as of right now, I believe there is going to be no RPG Limit Break 2022 either, because the pandemic is still too prominent, and there's not as much of an organization behind RPG Limit Break. So, like, setting up all the hotel and stuff is much more hotel and spacing and stuff like that for an RPG Limit Break event is a lot more costly. And there's a lot more persuasion power they can have over situations if they have to like try and cancel. Because I know that was a big pain point for RPG Limit Break 2020. It took a lot of power to cancel that event. They got the hotel to delay it to, I believe, October. But then when things still weren't looking up, they were finally able to get the hotel to relent and give back the costs that were associated with that event. So yeah, unfortunately, it takes more effort for them to set everything up, and I don't blame them for not being so gung-ho with cases still being relatively high, even if they are on a downswing. Also, hi, Game. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I suppose we should hop to it. Just gonna be a D-Rust run in Chapter 14. We're gonna lose like 5 minutes because I'm gonna showcase the duck truck, which is normally not a part of the any percent route. And then after that, we're gonna swap back over to Yakuza Like a Dragon and excuse me, and head on back to Yakuza Like a Dragon and record the Poundmate and Essence showcase, as well as the outfit selections. Is that what Chapter 14 isn't on the splits? No, Chapter 14 is not on the splits for the any percent speedrun, because Chapter 14, we just complete the puzzle and leave. Chapter 14 is a non-chapter in the speedrun. Because normally it's supposed to be like a maze puzzle. It's a maze puzzle of a chapter where you're supposed to go to specific areas, find signs that are part of a code that you put on a door, and then you leave, and there's not even a boss fight. There's the optional boss fight, the duck truck located in there. But other than that, we don't need anything from that chapter in the run, like, at all. So... So in the any percent speedrun of SteamWorld Quest, Chapter 14 is just we walk over, we input the code into the door, and we leave the chapter. There's nothing that we do. So I didn't even bother having a split for it, because it's like 2 minutes of walking, and that's it. Also, howdy, Eric, and howdy, Morgan. Thanks so much for stopping by. That is perfectly fine, Eric. I thought the run went really well. It actually turned out to be... I think my commentary went pretty well. I think I know now that I shouldn't try to do story synopsis while I'm doing it, because it's just too much to run over in the speedrun of Yakuza Like a Dragon that I can't commentate the story on top of it. But I think the rest of my commentary was good, and the speedrun itself was also good. I think we ended at like a 4:01 something, which is a good time. That is a good time for that speedrun. So yeah, I've already submitted Yakuza Like a Dragon, and I've already submitted this game, SteamWorld Quest. Running that over one more time before, because new people have hopped in. I've already submitted this run, or those two runs, to SGDQ. So hopefully we can get in. And I submitted my previous RPG Limit Break submission video for SGDQ, because I think it was still a good summation of the run. Even if it was not a good run, it was still a good commentary and showcase of it. Okay, I suppose we should probably hop into this. Because, hoo boy, it's gonna be rough. It is gonna be rough. So, let's see what we can do. As well as, I forgot that there's a reset point right at the beginning. Fantastic. All right. Let us jump to it. New game, and we start on the Squire input. So 3, 2, 1, go. I need to remember what mashing feels like in this game. I think it's circle and X. Trying to remember all the proper inputs. How does combat go again? Oh shoot, I forgot to cycle cards. I'm already derusting. Oops. Shoot. Supposed to have left a strike for Armilli, but it's fine. Nice. Got a good damage roll at least. And we got enough trash to move on. Hooray. So we don't even need anything there. We needed 3 of the green crafting material. Oh. Dodge. Oh, come on. Let me get past you fools. Go. And first boss fight, go. And in this, we are trying to stack up as much damage as we can while our melee is boosted. Trying to not spend too much time on... Oh. Should be spending time on fire pillars. Our melee attacks, fire pillars are our main source of damage to start. Don't want to spend too much on Brave Busters. Make sure I have enough steam prepped for Flame Wave later. I need to start spending everything on fire pillars. I have enough steam. Hi, Zach. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's been a little while. Flame Wave, take out the ads as soon as they appear. Get that buff reapplied. Back in for more damage. We need lots more fire pillars. I am not getting many fire pillars. It's unfortunate. Yeah, we're not going to have enough damage to close this out before they summon another ad wave. Just not enough. Unfortunate. That's okay. And we're done. Good enough, chapter 1. On to chapter 2. Yeah, if I had not wasted some of those fire pillars like I had. Oop. Forgot that you can swap characters with R1. So you need to remember what buttons you need to mash at certain times. Yeah, if I hadn't cycled through some of the fire pillars that I needed to actually use, I could have fast cycled that boss. But that's my bad. That happens. These guys really like being evil henchmen. Wiggs and Bedge. Don't worry about the similarity of their names to any common merch or common franchises. Rude intimidates. Ideally, we can finish this fight here. That probably won't be enough. Just maybe. Oh. And some of the muscle memory is still there. Some of the muscle memory is still there. Grab the scout badge. Shoot. And we deck. Oops. Need a Brave Buster, Bravado for Heroic Strike. Oh boy. And then get Fire Pillar for Flame Wave. Oh shoot. I forgot to equip the scout badge. Doesn't matter if that guy sees us. And on to the fight. Okay. Not a great start. Ideally, we want Intimidate or not Drain Strength on while we're doing some stuff here. It's unfortunate. So we're going to boost some of our melee or shield our melee while he's targeted so he doesn't take much damage. As well as if he uses Sapping Strike, it won't heal, which is great. Just reset. Because after this turn, our melee will be back up. Or we'll have Intimidate gone. I don't want to waste too much on Brave Buster while I'm not actually boosted. But our melee is going to be our main source of damage here. Our last turn of Wrecking Ball still active. We get some good damage in. And there's Drain Strength, so now I'm going to start using some of those Flame Pillars. Keep a Wrecking Ball. Actually, let's just 3 Flame Pillars so we can shield the entire party. Could do a little heal and shield and guard here. Howdy, Dumpskill. Thanks for stopping by. I'm having a good weekend. I'm glad with my submission run for SGDQ yesterday in Yakuza Like a Dragon, and now we're derusting this one after we're submitting. I hope you enjoy that run. Hope you're having a good weekend as well. All right. This fight is a slow one. We unfortunately don't have the greatest of power. And there's nothing we can do about it. It's still faster to take this fight at a super low level than to try and increase our level. It is just an unfortunately super slow fight. Almost done. Drain, he's got coal. That's okay. Because we should be able to close him out with this. Good. This was the first main speedrun that I did. I did a large amount of the routing in this run myself with some help of the other runners. But yeah, this is the first main run, first main game that I've speedrun. Craft. We need poison. Menu decks. We need poison for mend. And we go. Gotta wait for the proper alignment of these enemies so it can pass through without getting into a fight. That's the one that we don't want because the box is in the way. Dang it. I didn't see it. But yeah, I adore this game too. It is a lot of fun. And the higher difficulties of this game are really hard. God, this fight is not letting me pass, and it is frustrating. Come on. There we go. That's what we wanted. It is still faster than taking that fight. Use a smoke bomb. I wish. Low damage. Shoot. Just bop him like that. Oh, okay. The other guy's evade is off, so I can finish them off. Closes out that one. Oh man, I do not have the not everything about me is already at the ready to do this run. It's been quite a while. But that is okay. Submitted a good run to GDQ. A good representation of it, and if it gets in, I will be doing lots of practice. Okay. Let's start off with building up some chain. Yes, I already submitted this one to SGDQ as well. I previously got this run into RPG Limit Break 2020, but unfortunately that event was canceled as expected because of the pandemic. So yeah, I submitted that same submission run, and I hope either game gets in. I am glad for any of my runs to get in. All right, Armillion needs to do damage while Wrecking Ball's up. Dang it! There's the evade. Let's try to dish out some damage while evade is up, even though a lot of these will whiff. Wow, I hit all of them through evade. That is nice to see. Now, while defense is still down, need to get the poison reapplied. Incentives for LAD are going to be Essence and Poundmate Showcase, outfit selection, and language choice. And I'm going to create a submission video for that later. I'm gonna get the footage for this stream after this run. Build up for when the evasion is finally down. I already purchased the DLC outfits, so I already thought that through at least. A lot of our damage in the early game fights of this one are dependent on our keeping up of status effects. Wow, I actually got too many Brave Busters. That is unfortunate. I need more regular attacks from our melee. Okay, that's the fight done. Not great, but that's okay. This is a D-Rust run after all. Not expecting the greatest of performances. As well as we just had really bad luck on... We had really bad luck on that one fight dodge that we had to do. Okay, on to chapter 4, where this, if it wasn't already apparent, we're already underleveled. The level ups in this game give you a single stat boost, but a very large one. And as you can see, our damage is not great. Really? I don't have enough money? That is interesting. I don't think I was supposed to have to sell anything. I think I just got low rolls. The 500 gold chest is somewhere. And I don't remember where. Actually, yes, I do. I remember what the 500 gold chest is. Oh no, rust is showing. Oh, my notes are so slim in this. I was so accustomed to this run that I'm just like, yeah, I'll just call out the chest that I need to grab and not any remembrance of where the heck it's even located. It's fine. Yeah, I got a sub 2-hour run of any percent of this. Howdy, no such thing as sleep. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I submitted this at 2 hours and 15 minutes because there's a lot of RNG involved and it's possible to mess things up pretty easily as well. Like my submission video for RPG Limit Break had a lot of mistakes. It was like a 214. And I'm expecting that it's going to be kind of a similar time frame for this run. Skim across the bottom here. This is the 500 gold chest. Yeah, I love this game. As much as the higher difficulties of this game really change up a lot of the strategies you have to do and stuff like that, I haven't done it yet, and I probably should. Probably should do a higher difficulty run of this. Not run, but a playthrough of this at some point. Because it already can get very difficult and will be very underleveled in this speedrun playing on the easiest difficulty. It's gonna be hard. Okay. We got that. We go down here. Or it doesn't matter if we get spotted by that guy. Gotta pick up an ability. Pick up the regeneration card, which gives us some healing over time in fights. That is very beneficial. We have to reload the rooms so that enemies are facing certain directions so that we can evade them. Ointment. So we got it. Dex. We need Aspiring Hero over a Bravado. And we need regeneration for Wrecking Ball. Need to equip the Silver Bracer onto Copernica, and we go into the fight. This fight is a hard one, and it's a long one. We are very underleveled, and it is very dangerous. I won't be surprised if I die in it. Okay, probably will... Okay, did get poison. So that's a good start. We want to apply status effects constantly for this fight. Status effects are our highest damage output because we are so underleveled. So I want... dang it. I wanted another Armilli card so I could apply bleed. Because this guy is going to have an evasion turn coming up soon. Don't need 2 regenerations, but I will do 2 Brave Busters. This applies the bleed. We want poison back for next turn to apply before he goes into evasion at his full steam ability. Shoot. Didn't get the poison back up, so we're going to lose some damage there. We get 2 poisons. I'm going to try to apply it anyway. Yeah, let's do that. Come on, land 1. Good. Just important that we landed 1. Bleed's going to come off this turn, so we need to reapply it. Luckily, we got the right stuff for it. Do some good damage while we're at it with Aspiring Hero. Regen is off, so I kind of need to apply that. But I'm actually going to go for the kill on Keymaster here with the status effects. Get shields back up as well. Keymaster will be down due to status effects next turn. So we're actually going to start... unfortunate that that regen got applied right at the end. That regen is going to prevent us from doing much damage at all. Yeah, literally 1 HP, and he's dead. Now we really need to get poison and regeneration. Because now it gets hard. Now he's angry and does a lot more damage. I need to get... Oh boy, I really need to get shields up too. Not ideal. I'm gonna do shields and sacrifice a turn. The status effects are very powerful in this game, and they're very useful. I really like the implementation of status effects in this game. Okay, there's our regen. Okay, good. Defensive buff and heal. That is going to come in handy. Keep everyone alive. Need to get shields back up. Get those on our lowest damage members. There is no party leader mechanic in this one. Your party is just managed as they are. Reviving a downed enemy is hard though. All right, let's get back up. Bleed. We need to get back on poison right after this. Poison. Actually, can I get... Dang it, I didn't get another. That's okay. Need to get poison. Once he reaches half HP, he's going to increase his physical defense, so our Millie's not going to be doing much damage anymore. We need to focus on fire pillars now. Fire pillars and status effects. Need that. Need that. I'm just gonna reapply poison early. Especially because this is gonna defense boost us for this wave attack. That hurts a bunch. Need to reapply bleed. This isn't gonna do much damage because of the physical defense, but we need to bleed reapply it anyway for extra damage. Then we're gonna go in for the flame pillars after. And we're also, while we're in the midst of choosing our cards, we're trying to prep our cards for next turn because we get 2 redraws every turn. We need poison back. Unfortunate. We're just gonna go from damage mix. It's not gonna be enough damage yet, but next turn we should be done. Always a rough fight. We always have to make sure to keep your shields and healing up for it. And to show how underleveled we are, we get 3 levels up from this fight. Or 2 levels up from this fight. Okay. On to chapter 5. No boss fights in this one, but we got to do a fight or 2. Yeah, we have to do 1 fight here. One fight, and we're gonna pick up some weapons or some equipment and some cards. And just dodge to the best of our capability. Also, the boxes in this game that you hit to knock out of the way can drop gold, and it is random the amount of gold, and if they have gold at all. And eventually our money is going to be very, very tight. So we need to hopefully get some good money drops to alleviate some wallet pains that we'll have. Come on. Stop noticing me. Thank you. We head right to the right of this hole that we're supposed to drop on. Coming on up. Flip a switch to open a door. They want us to drop down. Not yet. Pick up the gold first. Then we drop down. Then we head to the left for a secret area. To pick up the ancient sword. A pretty dang good early game weapon for our melee that we won't use. We will sell it. It's a good source of money. We, again, are very underleveled for the point in the game we are. We need the bleed status effect that comes with the full combo card. So if I use all 3 cards are of a single character, they will do an extra attack that is dependent on their weapon. And we need the attack from our melee that causes poison. Which, unfortunately, Ancient Sword does not have, so... But we got Fixer there. That is a fantastic weapon. All right, we need to change our active party. Copernicus out. Auric is in. Unfortunately, Copernica will no longer be in the rest of the run. While we were initially routing this game... Heck, Toucans, thank you for the sub of 21 months. I appreciate it. While we were doing the initial routing of this game, there were 2 main routes that were being run side by side. There was my route, our melee route, and then there was the Copernica route that was being run. That was being run by Roos and Stilljaws. And they were like dead even for a very, very long time. They were dead even for a very long time. And it was really fun to see. And then I was able to find a late game strat for this that was able to save the rest of the time that was needed. And ended up pushing this game all the way down to a sub 2 when I think the best Copernica run was about 2:15, I want to say. King. Where are you going? Sir, please turn around. Please turn around. Please. Thank you. There we go. I need to grab 2 switches here. I do have world record. I have world record in any percent and world record in 100%. Someone, a completely different runner decided to pick up 100 or route 100% in this game. And I conveniently had some time. Dang it. How do I... Yeah, we need to run. This dodge is annoying. But yeah, last summer, someone decided to join the community and start trying to run. God dang it. Every time I swear I can fit through that, and I can't. And decided to route 100%. And I conveniently was in between jobs, so I decided to give them some nice competition. Can I fit through it finally? God. The vertical hitboxes are very difficult to account for while trying to do these dodges. Horizontal is pretty clear. Vertical is not. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And actually, in 100%, my run did get beat. But unfortunately, one of the functions of 100% is that we need to 100% the bestiary. And we realized that the bestiary, one of the fights that we thought functioned one way, does not. So they skipped certain fights that we thought the enemy was included in the bestiary from a different fight. And unfortunately, it just wasn't. I was technically doing an optional fight because the dodge was really annoying and really painful to do. But I also needed the material, so I took it anyway. So mine was still counted, but they decided to do a run that skipped it, and unfortunately it didn't complete the bestiary. So they were like, I think 30 seconds faster. We need 6 smelling salts. We need to craft on our Millie Bushido. We need Dex. We need Auric. Needs Bushido for second slash and crit. And we need Fixer or Steam Punch. We need Quip. Copernica drops everything. We need Auric to have the Silver Bracer. Save because this is gonna be tough. Yeah, it really sucked. I was like, that is not a good time to find out that's how it actually works. All right, we need to put our focus into Captain Canary first. Howdy, thanks for stopping by. That is a bad paralysis, but I'm glad that I got the frickin' heal off. Or that I got the poison off first. All right, now we need to get the bleed stacked on as well. And this fight is hard. This fight does a lot of damage. This is the first difficulty spike of a regular playthrough, and we're very underleveled for. So now we're gonna go for a Bushido into a couple Brave Busters, and hopefully land some crits. Yeah, my large guy is right now confused and paralyzed, so not much I can do with him, but both of those status effects come off now. We are going to Fixer, apply the poison, apply a defense boost because they're both going to do their Steam ability. We have Smelling Salts just in case we end up with a situation where someone is stunned and we don't want them to be. I really need to heal our Millie, but we need to reapply the poison first. Nice crit on the Brave Buster. That is nice. We really need to heal our Millie though. Hopefully I can get something for that. Not exactly what I wanted, but that's fine. It's a small heal at least. want to keep doing damage. Ah, okay, well, now our Millie's dead. All right, I need to apply... we need to use our singular revive kit. Need to apply poison. Need to regen. It's not great that we already had to use a revive kit. Okay, confusion on Auric is good. We need to reapply bleed. Won't be able to with this. Okay, Auric is fine. Auric is very hurt, but it's fine. Gonna start preemptively applying poison onto the dragon so we can start doing damage, because hopefully we can finish off Captain Canary soon. Get some defense to hopefully keep Auric alive. Okay, no, we're gonna Aspiring Hero, Brave Buster to guarantee the kills, get a bleed on the dragon, and we need to start getting some more healing. Yeah, Auric needs to get healed. We can put on Healing Mask, Bushido. Okay, that's fine. Reapply the poison. This fight's rough. But the hardest part is done. The hardest part is done. Okay, that's good. I would have preferred to have some boosts to go along with this, but can at least get bleed back up. Okay. Get a couple boosts onto our Millie. Reapply poison next turn. It's nice that we're getting some poisons in the back so we can keep poison up constantly, because that's our highest damage. Very lucky on paralyses, though. Reapply bleed. Dish out more damage. Hoping for crits. There's one, at least. Ooh, that's a bad paralysis. It's an ointment to make sure we get poison up. Paralysis has a 50% chance to have your card get canceled out, which is obviously bad. Get bleed back on. This is always such a hard fight. But pretty soon we won't be so in such a rough position. This fight should be done. Okay, good. Good. This will also give us a crap ton of levels, because again, we are very underleveled. Okay. Cutscene skipping all the way to the end. On to chapter 7. Pretty fast one. Or here we buy ointments back up to 6. So luckily we didn't have to deal with the worst of the status effects in that fight. We can have to deal with a lot more confusion and paralysis, but luckily they stacked up conveniently in that last fight for us, so we didn't really have to do too many status healing turns. Okay, we head to left, we go right. We go down, doesn't matter about the enemy. You go back up, over to the left and grab this chest for 1,000 gold. We go left, we go up. And we head into the boss fight. It's a simple Lost Was style puzzle chapter. Get Fascination, well, you have that ability later. And it's boss fight. Our Millie's gonna start doing some pretty great damage here. Set up our Millie right away. Get poison on. Need to get bleed on. Was hoping I would also have some other increased attack before doing that. That's okay. Yes, you can only have 3 party members at a time. Shoot. Reapply. Just build up some steam and get regen on. Poison is off next turn, so I need to reapply that. Wow, our melee is hurting right now. Shoot. Let's get a bunch of stat growth. Stop hitting our melee, please. I need poison. Well, guess we're just gonna go back to more bleeding because freaking game is not giving me any poison. This is fine. Get that buff reapplied. Wow, our melee is taking so much damage. Stop hitting our melee. My God. Let's get bleed reapplied. We'll just try and build up some steam next turn to finish this with a Cyclone Slash. We applied the poison there to keep that up for another turn because hopefully we can build up enough steam and Cyclone Slash will finish. Yeah. That should be the end of the fight. These guys are very weak to lightning. Just barely. But Auric is very weak. Auric is very weak to start. So Cyclone Slash does not do as much as you'd hope. I am very surprised that freaking Armilli almost died. This is basically a non-chapter. There's one small fight that we have to do, and then we just run through the rest. This is also going to be a slow run because I'm going to show off the one incentive while I'm doing this, and I'm going to cut that out so I can make a separate video for incentive submission to GDQ. All right, that is good. Start off with some nice damage. Bleed. Ah, that smoky aura sucks. Did not want to see that. Hopefully I can hit through it. Good. Hit through it at least. Guys down. I'll just have to deal with the last. Stack for yourself. And I'm just going to build to a Cyclone Slash next turn because Smoky Aura is going to be down. Okay. And Crit Storm. Even I thought that was going to be enough damage. Nope. Auric is so weak. Auric is so weak at the start of this. But Auric is one of our primary damage dealers in short order soon enough. But he's so weak to start. He is so weak to start. Okay. Head through the halls here. Touch gem to activate teleporters. Grab this stone lion chest hidden. We won't use that until the end game, but important to pick up while we're here. We just run through to the end. And there we go. That's the chapter. That's the entire chapter. Not a long one. Oh my god, I'm gonna be saving some time over my PB. Saved 5 seconds. Hell yeah. This is a longer chapter and it can be a tough one. Where am I going? We just go down, right? Yeah, because the revive kits are later. Twins are fantastic. We will see them very soon. Okay, yep, we go right down. Grab a treasure chest for some more revive kits because we need them desperately. Up, right, down. To a boss fight. Boss fight that's a big jerk. A dragon that can both blind us and sleep us. It's awful. Nice poison start. Just do the buff. Just hoping no sleep on our Millie. Good. That way we can get the bleed off. Can get rid of that Cyclone Slash next turn. Okay, we got both of those up. All right, who's getting sleep? That's Auric. That's okay. All right. And before any nonsense happens, let's reapply poison because we're gonna get blinded soon. Okay, only the blind on Auric. That's good. That is a good turn of blind. Hopefully that lands. Good. Nice crit. Don't sleep. Our Millie! You jackass! I'm just gonna poison again. Because we're getting another turn of blind. I should have woken up our Millie. Well, we got woken up and now he's blinded. I'm probably just gonna have to go for it. Yeah. It's gonna have to try and get the bleed through the blind. Come on. Good, you at least landed the bleed. You whiffed everything else, but got the bleed. Need to get poison. I couldn't tell who got refreshed on the blind. Oh my god, everyone did. Okay. Smelling salts, both of them. Wait, is it smelling salts or is it ointment? It is ointment. Crap. Gonna ointment and pray that our Millie gets unslept so I can get bleed or damage in. Come on, you jerk. This was a very bad fight. And then he blinded us again. This fight can waste so much time. Land something, Armilly. Good. Land bleed. Damn it. God, I hate this fight. So much blinding and so much blinding and sleeping that can waste so much time. And now we have the twins in the party. And they're fantastic. They'll get put into our party next chapter. And that's when we're finally going to get our final party. The secret teleporter back here. Gets us a great weapon for Copernica. That, obviously, Copernica's not in the party anymore, so we're just going to sell. Now we have to hope for this dodge to align, which is always a pain. Come on. We need the top guy face right. We need the top guy to go right, and then we need the bottom guy to go left. It is like a 1 in 8 chance. It is not great. Come on. Would you please align for me, you jerks? Come on. You can do it. I believe. There it is. Still faster than taking the fight. All right, and we get the Journeyman badge, which is right over here. Not too far out of the way. Get on into the next teleporter puzzle, which we do down, left, to get the most overpowered card in this game, Doom. Doom is fantastic. All right, it's right, down, right, I believe. Right. Nope. Yeah, right, down, right. Yeah, we're out of there. All right, and you got to make sure that you don't take this fight no matter what you do. We lure him away until he gets at the end of his leash so we can dodge him. If you get into this fight, you can't run away from it. So it's very crucial you do not take that fight. Oh, that is unfortunate. We're going to have to kite this guy. Doesn't matter. That guy saw us. He's slower. This is another one that can be a pain to dodge from. Sweet. Good alignment. Good alignment. Come on. Just face left. Thank you. And chapter done. All right. No, you're not by yourself. Your party members just don't show up in Overworld. You can swap between them at any time with L1 and R1, but only one party member. Because yeah, I can swap between who's visible, but I always just choose Armilly. All right, big shop time. We got to sell all of our weapons. We got to buy the Storming Mikazuki and the Serrated Longsword. We need accessories. We need the Hades Stone and the Wind God's Drum. We need to craft Hot Iron and Envenom. We need to menu our decks. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 and Bravado for Heroic Strike, Aspiring Hero, and Brave Buster. Twins need Envenom, Siphon Mind, Cut Purse, and Doom for Axe Hits, Fool's Gold, and Twin Combo. And Auric needs Cyclone Slash Crit Mask for EI Cut and Health Mask. Equipment, we need Scout Badge for Journeyman Badge. We need Unequip that. We need Auric for Hades Stone Wind God Drum. We need Silver Bracer Scout Badge. Active Party. Galio for the twins. Save and into the boss fight. This chapter is literally just the boss fight, and it can be a very short one because you're gonna see the power of Doom. You're gonna see the power of Doom. All right, we want to start off with hopefully that's not terrible. Get Bleed to start off at least. Hopefully we can get Envenom. Siphon Mind is good. Not good enough though. That Cyclone Slash will come into play in a little bit. Really wish we had an Envenom so we could have applied poison. This is awkward. All right, we got haste, so we got another card next turn at least. Okay, locked our Millie, which is not the greatest. Okay, I can get crit mask on. Get another haste up. Bushido is also set up, so I just need to put Doom on. So yeah, we Doom. We're going to Envenom. And this is gonna showcase why we love Doom. Look at the HP. Casual, like 5,000 damage. It does a tick of damage with every proc of damage does a percentage health. It is fantastic. That includes bleed, that includes poison. It is a fantastic ability. And Cyclone Clash. And we're done. It is one of the few ways we can reasonably do some of these boss fights because, again, we are very underleveled. We are immediately underleveled in this game. Doom Cyclone gives us a lot of damage for the next chapters. On to chapter 11. This one can be annoying. All right, we need to craft to victory. This fight we have to take. It is incredibly annoying to get through. Stack a bleed on right away. Want to build up for a Doom Cyclone on that bottom one because that bottom one goes invulnerable if you get him below a half health. Sure, we target appropriately. We're going to be using cut purse in all of these fights from now on to gain as much money as we can. Boss fights using cut purse gets you a lot of gold, so it is very important we do. Dang it, used fade right away. That is unfortunate. Shoot. We're gonna hit him. Raging Demon. Hopefully we'll kill because of the curse. Ah, the whiffs from the fade. That is unfortunate. This is gonna be a really slow fight now. We don't really have a good way to do damage against that enemy now. Not without a Cyclone Slash. Unfortunate. We need a Cyclone Slash game. Oh my god. Finish him off. Put on that. Won't hit him. Yeah. We can't hit this jerk. There we go. Now the fight's done. Game would not give me a Cyclone Slash. Okay. Through the save point. Grab that repair elixir behind here. Off to the left really quick. To grab a different mask for Auric. Auric has like a stance type feature with his card set. You can have him equip different masks that have different passive effects. Really a lot of fun stuff that you can do with that. This is one of my favorite dodges. We're gonna lure this guy down here. We're gonna get him stuck on the tree so we can dodge past him. Head to the left. Oh man, I don't think I could confidently say, oh shoot, I need to do a deck before the boss fight. To victory and heroic strike for bravado and hot iron, and we need drain strength for siphon mind. We need equipment, scout badge for Zephyr Cape, and we go to the fight. I'm glad I caught that before ending the fight. Okay, Envenom Self, X-Chop Cut Purse. Try and hopefully land a nice early poison. Good. We'd love to see it. Oh, bad confusion on our Millie. Should use a smelling salts to get that off. So we can Bushido, drink strength. Need bleed up. Yeah, I can't remember the story well enough right now. Get bleed on. Poison is gonna be off, but we just need Doom and Cyclone Slash. Unfortunate. Set up the Raging Demon. Get that up. Get that in. So we need Doom Bushido is what I'm looking for. There we go. There's one. Didn't get the Bushido. It should be fine. Not enough. Dang it. That's okay. And we're just gonna finish him off with all these little ticks of damage. This poison and Doom should finish him off. Or the bleed and Doom. There we go. Alright. Not great. That could be a lot faster. Okay. On to chapter 12. Already about halfway through this run. So only 19 chapters. But chapter 12 is about the end. Their halfway point of their run. Okay. Need to get one very useful ability for the twins. Useful card for the twins. All right, over here. That's all we have to do is watch a cutscene to get it. It is A card called Against All Odds. It is a single turn, full party, large evasion increase. It is very helpful. Because if we time it with the Steam abilities that the bosses can do, it will potentially save us from taking the brunt of that attack. It's 2, 1, 3. Is the answer for that puzzle. Again, you would normally run around this area, find the sigils, and then input them, but we already know the answer. Quick grab past the giant mushroom. Grab a weapon here. Good weapon for the twins that unfortunately we aren't going to use because we're going to get a different weapon later, but it sells for a good amount. And now because we're here, deck twins need Against All Odd for the steel strength. And to the boss fight. This boss fight can also be a jerk, but we got the same strategy we've been doing, which is setting up Auric with everything. I'm just gonna recycle those nice and early so that we can hopefully get poison and bleed on and reshuffle into a cyclone slash later. Okay, it's a good starting poison. I need bleed now. That is a good twins card. It's not that great that we're getting a bunch of heroic strikes though, because this boss reflects physical damage as lightning damage. It's annoying. Okay, only our melee. It's fine. Okay. Put self on that. Put that on. Put that on. Okay, the only thing we need now is is Doom and Bleed, hopefully I can get. Because then shoot. Setting himself up for next turn. Just hoping no paralysis. Okay, yeah, we're good. Just need to build up a couple more ticks. This should hopefully be the end of the fight. Dang it. Just not enough damage without bleed and poison procs. Set yourself up, and hopefully the twins can land a poison here, as well as do some more tick damage with Doom. Good, we got the poison on. A bleed would have also been great. But that's okay. The fight should be done. There we go. Not an amazing fight, but good. Good enough. All right. On to chapter 13, which is the arena. Which we just go in because the shop is... Wait, no, shop's back here. Forgot about that. All right, sell. We got to sell all of our weapons. We buy weapons. We buy the serrated Zweihander, the storming Mengetsu, and vile weaponry for the twins. And then we menu deck. We do Bravado, Brave Buster, and To Victory, Hot Iron, and Heroic Strike. Twins get another Drain Strength and a Twin combo for Venom. Now that twins have a combo card that poisons, EI and Fascination for Cyclone Slash and Crit. And then we go in for the arena fights. Now we have a sequence of 3 fights coming up that are all smaller fights, so we have to change up our deck to accommodate not using Doom Cyclone so much. As well as we have to be careful of our health in this, because our health does not heal in between fights, so we need to actually pay attention. So our Millie's going to be our big damage dealer here. Ideally, we also want the twins to roll out a poison. Didn't get too much good cards though, but that crit is going to be nice for our Millie. So hopefully we can get some Brave Busters. Nice. Nice crit. Beautiful crits, our Millie. Nice, nice. Beautiful first fight. Beautiful first fight. Second fight. Want to get rid of this Naga as soon as possible because it can blind us or it can freeze us. Like that. But luckily it throws Auric and that's fine. Let's get on a real quick full party poison. This is why we're using the weapon that we're using on the twins. Full party free poison is very nice. It's gonna get some good damage. This should finish off the snake. Apply a bleed to someone else. We need to try and get a little bit of healing in. Hopefully we can get fascination. Get in this for some money. Really was hoping we could have gotten fascination there. Oh, we got it, but a little late. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to pop a repair vial to get some more HP and finish the fight. All right, final fight of this. This one is a bit of a pain. Shoot. Early bleed is fine, but I was hoping for early poison instead. Dang it, and they petrified the twins. That's rough. Dang it. Oh, that's really bad. I'm just gonna have to use some repair vials and heal. I literally couldn't use all the cards that I had because they were all either Steam or the twins. That is unfortunate. Oh, come on, the evasion. Okay, this should hopefully clear out that guy. Oh, that regen. Bleed and regen are gonna counteract? No, good. Took him out. Okay, this, oh, nope. Doom, this should hopefully take care of that one. Reapply poison. Auric is again still fine that he's taking out those. That. Making sure we get as many steals in as possible to get money. Okay, that's maybe fight over. Good. Not too bad. Not too bad of an arena. That last fight was rough, but the first two were pretty good. And that unlocks the arena portion of the game if you want, or if they want. And now we get to do chapter 14 that we would normally just finish right away, but if we meet the incentive for the run, we are going to fight the duck truck instead. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 1. I'm glad I remembered that because I didn't write it down in my notes. And the duck truck is this way, I believe. Do have to make it past an enemy, though. That needs to look the opposite direction. Please. Sir. Okay. So we go here, we go right. And now, this is the incentive fight, the duck truck. It's fantastic! It's a duck and or a truck. And it actually is pretty dang tough, resistant to just about everything. Our strategy is going to be roughly the same, though. Going to be aiming to stack on bleed, stack on poison, and aim for a doom cyclone. So I don't want to use these Brave Busters too much. I didn't change my deck for this fight. I'm going to have to... Actually, you know what? I need to remember. So I'm going to do a better showcase of that. I'm going to do a better showcase of that. But yeah, all the party member movesets are the same. So it doesn't matter what overall party member you're using. Okay. So deck, I need to change this over for this fight. To victory, hot iron, for rogue strike and brave buster. I'm just gonna do another bravado. Or actually, no. Rogue strike. For the twins, we need another axe chop instead of twin combo. And for Auric, we're gonna do this for fascination EI. Okay. One, two, three. 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay. Now let's go show off the duck truck. Now that I've appropriately swapped out my deck. So it's just a quick run over to here for the optional boss fight. This is the optional boss fight that is going to be the incentive, the duck truck. It is delightful. Also quite strong, actually. But our strats for it are going to be relatively the same. We're going to be aiming to stack on poison, stack on bleed, so that we can put on Doom and then do a big Doom Cyclone Slash for a large chunk of its health. This duck truck has one move that we do need to be concerned about, though. It's a strong one, so we do need to be careful of it. We have the tools to deal with it, but it's gonna do some damage. Okay. Let's stack on... Actually, let's stack on that, and we're going to get the Cyclone Slash in while we have a bunch of steam. Good chunk of damage. And that's the one that we have to be worried about. Does kind of just insta-kill one of our allies. There's nothing we can do to stop that. So we just... build up for the next Doom Cyclone and try to take him down. Get bleed back on. We need poison back on. Hopefully we can take down this enemy before it gets another one of those off. Okay, that's good. And there we go. And that is the incentive down. It's a fun little fight. It's a rough little mini boss you can find, but I think it's an entertaining one, given that it it just does a little cry, waddles around, and then instant kills one of your party members. So yeah, and that would be where I cut this off, or where I'm gonna cut the video to show off the incentive, and I'll save that out separately. Yeah, it's a fun little fight. So yeah, I'm not worried about the time that's on screen anymore. Probably should have not had the timer open for it, but I suppose it's gonna help me estimate how much time that fight is gonna add to the run. Yeah, that's about what, like 3-ish minutes or so. Oops. Shoot. Undo. Ah, well, there goes the time. I hit the wrong button. I hit clear instead of undo. Oh, well. Well, I'm just going to highlight split then. Oh, well. That happens. I wasn't going to be doing any submission or anything, but... So let's just close out this run, shall we? Sell our accessories. We buy... we buy recovery items. We need smelling salts and ointments back up. And we need materials. We need up to 20 purple. That's right. We get a lot of purple from duck trucks. So we don't need to do that. We need to purchase Epidemic and Raven Strike for the twins. We need Dex. We need 2 victory, hot iron times 4, heroic strike out for a shout. Twins need Epidemic times 2 and Raven Strike for no cut purse. Installs drink ass chop times 1. And Auric gets back the Cyclone Slash and that. Okay, and now we're on to this fight. The tree! This tree is frustrating. This tree fight can waste a lot of time if it wants, because this tree has a bad breath attack, just like the Final Fantasy Marlboros. And if it gives us bad status effects and we don't properly prep for it, bad stuff can happen. I'd prefer to have the twins later. That's unfortunate, but we can start a bleed on. First goal. We want to save the blind for at least 1 turn after the start. So we can use the blind now if we want. Epidemic we will use to extend the duration of our spells. Unfortunate that I had to use one just to get the poison up, but now bleed and poison are on the same timeline, so I need to keep a close track of that. Set up Auric with the Doom Mask right away. I need to hopefully get another Epidemic for this upcoming turn so that I can keep the poison and bleed up consistently throughout the fight, now instead of having to refresh it a bunch. Not good. Okay. Well, we're just gonna have to... well, that's not a good deck. That is not a good turn, because now poison and bleed are gonna be gone. I didn't get an Epidemic to refresh them. Hopefully the bad breath doesn't do anything too bad to us now that they're blinded and we have evasion up. Oh, that's bad. Okay. We're just gonna have to hope that this bleed hits through. Please. Damn it. All right, we're going to go for Doom and Poison this turn so that we can get that up and running. Okay. Doom, Poison are up. We're going to try to get Bleed back again, please. Okay, that's good. So Bleed is back up. We have a boost. We have Bushido and Cyclone Slash for Auric. So we're going to Bushido Cyclone Slash into one last hit, and hopefully that's the end of this fight. So we Bushido Cyclone Slash, one last hit, and hopefully this beats it down. Good. Didn't get a second breath attack. Bosses up heal and it becomes a DPS race. It's not too bad in this one. It's not a huge heal. It's not a huge heal in this one, at least. So it's not the worst. But yeah, I do not like it when bosses heal too much and it's like, God dang it. It's also not great for speedruns when bosses do that, because it's like, oh, cool, now you're just prolonging the fight. Thanks. Okay. Now we suffer a fierce betrayal. I was gonna hit my splits, but my splits aren't going anymore because I was an idiot and reset them. That's okay. But on to the final act of this run. The final act is the hardest act. It's already difficult for us with how underleveled we are and stuff like that. But then we get into this act and it retains that difficulty and extends it. All right. Get around here. So long as we don't get spotted, we can skirt around the top of that fight. This gentleman has a $2,000 gourd. Don't question it. Skirt the bottom of this fight. Dex, we need Heartbroken Hero for a 2 victory and a heroic strike. This fight is frustrating, but if it goes well, it looks great. So these jerks, the Bargas and their chieftain, can do a lot of mean stuff if they so desire. That is not a good starting hand. I guess we'll just put Doom on early. Ugh, that's bad. That was a really bad starting hand. So this is a fight where we're going to have to go back to our status effects to maintain a lot of the damage. We're going to try and keep Bleed, Poison, and other such maladies up for this entire fight. And we didn't get any of the right cards for it. Oh, my God. We cannot refresh Doom, though. Doom does not count as a status effect. It's counted as something else. So one unfortunate thing with it. Okay. At the very least, we can do something here. All these enemies like to heal. They like to do regens, and it's awful. But now that enemy has Heartbroken on them, which is a great status effect that prevents them from healing. And now we are going to Steel Strength. We are going to hit them with this. We're going to apply Bleed or Blind and Poison onto them. And then we're going to try and keep all of these status effects up with Epidemic on the entire party, or on their entire team. From here on out, we're going to just try and keep cycling in epidemics and small bits of damage to keep all these status effects active. Actually, I need to start dishing out smaller bits of damage to other ones. So now all of them have that status effect on them. Where they can no longer hear, they're blinded, they're bleeding, they're poisoned. We're gonna keep it all up. Okay, I didn't get another epidemic. Oh my god, that sucks. Okay, well, lower their HP. Keep whittling away at their HP. Okay, I think I used epidemic last turn, so I think we're still fine. So it should still all be up. Yep, it's all still up. Good, we got another epidemic. We can heartbreak one of them with the high HP, epidemic, and axe chop. That refreshes all of those debuffs, keeping all of them nice and low, preventing them from doing any healing. Some of our teammates might start going down, but it's okay. Whew, the lucky whiffs. Also, when an enemy goes down, it causes them to have a reaction command. And that reaction command will hurt them with the bleed and start taking down others. So if we get good fight, we get this nice little domino effect. This won't do that much damage because Doom's not there, but it'll do a nice chunk where hopefully Bleed and Poison should take care of the rest. Ah, so close. Okay. Good enough fight. Good enough fight. Yeah, that fight can go faster if you can get like the epidemic up earlier to keep all those status effects on. You can get a really good domino where they're all at low HP. You take down one, and that slowly chains to take down all the others. It's great. All right, chapter 17, the second longest chapter in the run. All right, do deck right away. To victory, heroic strike for shouts and heartbroken hero. Twins need siphon mind and cut purse for drain strength, axe hit, and one of the epidemics. Try and get past this fight. Nice, they left us with a good opening. This fight can be a pain, but they lined up good. Thank you. This fight can also be a pain. Oh wow, the lineups are really nice. Okay. Gonna head off to this right path first. We need to go down each path to collect a key that we use to open up the main door. And this chapter, if it wasn't already visible in the aesthetics, is the refight chapter. So now we need to do a bunch of refights against upgraded versions of bosses we fought before. This time with the head mistress. Hopefully, okay, good. That will work. Lower damage. Steal nice money from her. Blind her. Poison her. Now we need to start building up our status effects again. Man, with all those. Okay. We are going to build up nice crit for Auric. And a haste for next turn, so we get 4 cards. Gonna refresh bleed, hopefully get Doom, so we can Doom Cyclone to finish. Okay, we need to this. And epidemic to keep everything active with the bleed and poison, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, there's our Doom Cyclone. So we're going to Doom. Everything else is active. And Cyclone Slash. Hopefully this should finish. Not quite enough hits on that, but bleed and poison will do good work. Nice. Beautiful. That was a really good fight. Also, like we're doing all these strats and like honestly barely surviving some of these strats at how underleveled we are, and this is the easiest difficulty. Okay, we beat that boss, so that means we got to do a quick menu, drain strength for Siphon Mind. Like all of these strats like really won't work even at higher difficulties, because at higher difficulties the immunities and stuff of the bosses change. Where there would normally be like 1-tier resistance to certain elements and stuff, it would be either 2-tier or complete immunity, or in higher, in extreme difficulties, absorbing of certain elements. Why didn't it run? That's strange. Why didn't it run? So howdy, Mechanalyst. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to do one safety vial on Auric since he took a hit. I don't grab the Crystal Rose anymore, I guess. And now we're off to the next refight. Against, luckily, only a dragon, and not also Captain Canary. This dragon can also still be frustrating if it wants to be. Okay, good. We got a poison start, or a bleed start. Because this dragon is now a poison dragon, and it's going to try and poison our whole party. And it succeeded. Great. Oh, man. And I didn't get another twin card at all, so we couldn't get poison up. Just have to deal with bleed for now. Okay, that is an early Doom, but I think that should be fine, actually. So let's, against all odds, Doom Cut Purse. The paralysis should be off of Auric this turn. Good. That's unfortunate. Gonna build this up for some good crits. I need a Bushido on Auric. Wanted to get Bushido before going in for Cyclone Slash because the crits also crit the Doom proc damage, which is fantastic. Bushido hits Cyclone, and hopefully this finishes the fight because we're already very low on HP. Good damage. Okay, that should be fight over. Okay. Good. Good fight. I still haven't played Darkest Dungeon. I own it, but I haven't played it yet. We need to change our deck over for a couple shouts for heroic strikes and a couple axe hits for our cut purses. We are low on HP right now, so we're gonna just do our best to make sure we skip any fights. This one I think you can escape underneath all the time, and the next you can escape above. Good. Got a nice little door swapping puzzle here. We're gonna do one quick sidestep in this door swapping puzzle though, to pick up one treasure chest. Grab this one, the Brute's Belt. Increases your strength by how many steam pressure you've had built up. Very, very useful for a specific strategy. All right, there's a fight here. That is going to be a pain in the butt and not let us dodge, really. Oh, come on, you jerks. I think I can go above it right now. But I'd rather just make sure. Because that could be a very mean fight to run away from. Those are some very strong enemies. Yeah, I've heard how brutally difficult Darkest Dungeon can be. But yeah, I own it, and I just not played it. Just never got around to it, unfortunately. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Okay. Quick save. And off to... the last refight. Okay, good. Good, we were able to get bleed early. This last refight is weirdly easier than the first tree. It has less health. It has some worse status effects, but not too terrible. Okay, dude, that's not ideal. Not ideal, but it's gonna have to do. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on our epidemics more so this time because we had to use up too much ability. Okay. Hopefully we can get an epidemic for next turn. Need an epidemic and against all odds for next turn because it's going to be a breath. And then we need to get Doom Cyclone set up. Dang it. Oh, that sucks. We are going to against all odds. Hit him. Get the Raging Demon built up, I guess. Ugh, it's rough. Means all the status effects are going to be gone now. Oh, bad status effects too. That's really bad. Okay. We're just gonna smelling salts and ointment so that we can get bleed back on at least. Ugh, that's rough. It was a really bad turn of bad breath, and it hit through both the evasion and the blind. Ugh, that was really bad. Okay, well, let's get you built up. Then we can get bleed, or we can get poison and doom on. Now that blind is going to be off. Hopefully. Come on, game. Wasn't able to get poison back on because the game didn't give me another twin card. But hopefully we can just build up enough. We just need a Bushido. This fight should hopefully be done. I hope it's done because it's going to do another bad breath. Its bleed proc should be fine. Fight should be done. Oh, you jerk, you healed. So rude. Ah, jerk. Absolute jerk. All right, now fight's done. That was not a good fight. And that is the last fight of the chapter. All right, but now we're going to be getting on to chapter 18. And Chapter 18 is the longest and the hardest in the run. It is 4 boss fights in a row. All of them are difficult. Especially the first one. All right, let's get this set up. Gotta do quite a bit of setup before we go into the next fights, though. All right, we need to buy weapons. The serrated claymore. Need the ogre slayer and the beast charm. Menu, equip. Our Millie gets the Brute's belt and the beast charm. Wait, no, and ogre slayer. Auric gets wind god drum replaced with beast charm. Then we go back in to the shop. We sell our recovery items, all of our repair vials. Shoot, I forget. I don't know what else sold. But then we also sell all of the moon juice. Sell all of our weapons, all of our accessories, all of the green material we have. We sell the blue down to 60, so we get 20, or we sell 20. And we craft all in, and we craft expose. We buy materials, red material, up to 60, so 6. Purple up to 60, so 20. We buy recovery items. We get smelling salts up, ointment up, repair kits, or revive kits, and repair potions. And we upgrade cards, we upgrade to victory, and we upgrade expose. Go into our decks, we do aspiring hero, bravado, heroic strike, and all in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. We get the expose on for epidemic and raven strike, and we get stone lion for cyclone and raging demon. All right, and now we get to a very frustrating fight, but we get to do a strategy that allowed this, the route with our Millie to exceed the route with Copernica. All right, so we need to build stuff up to start. Honestly, fine that we can get a little bleed on to start. Mainly just gonna focus right away on building up a bunch of steam. Bunch of steam and poison if we can. That's really annoying that the shield got off right away. Steel strength where we can. Do some little tick damage here and there against Copernica. It's pretty soon we're going to be wanting to get all the buffs we can onto our Millie. We need to get expose on. Aspiring hero. Get Bushido on. So now that's all we need is all in. All in is what we were looking for. Shoot, I needed to save the Bushido. That's fine. Okay, there's all in. So we to victory, EI, all in, and look at how much damage all in is going to do. $9,400 in a single hit. That is what allows this team to outrank our Millie, just barely. Shoot, I should have stole strength from Galeo, because he's gonna do a big punch and it's gonna hurt. Ow. All right, we are going to build back up for another one of those. Dishing out as much damage as we can to take out our Millie. Yeah, get that. Um, set it up for a haste, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Hopefully we can get another all in. Shoot. We didn't get another all in. Oh, that's not great. Shoot. That was a really bad hand. Just a bunch of mix of 2 cards of each party member. Okay, we got our all in. We have expose. Expose. We need a stone line here and this. Howdy, mitts. Thanks for stopping by. And this should do enough to take down our melee. And now we just need to deal with the big boy. Which we're gonna try and get Doom in. We'll stretch once the run is over, but I can hydrate at least. Okay, so now we're gonna try and build up what we can. I should have actually gotten a haste in. Ah, there goes the twins. Okay, well, this is the last turn of Doom, so I'm gonna get as much damage as I can in. It's a good chunk of damage. We can hopefully finish this off soon, though. This. Shoot. Yeah, then I'll... Just to make sure that fight's over. Because the eye increases the damage. Alright, good. Toughest fight down. That fight can go so poorly. That went pretty well. But we gotta go back. We gotta get more stuff. Because now we have some stuff we can sell. Materials sell green plus and blue plus. We buy materials. We want yellow up to 30, so 16. Then we upgrade all in. Save and head on into the next fight. We're now up against the twins. All right. Dang it. That's fine. I'm going to slow down the bottom one. Bushido early onto our melee so that they can get some good crits in once it's their turn. Okay, there. That's good for next. We're gonna drop this one's damage. Up. Shoot. No, let's against all odds. Then that. I don't want to get their health too low. Run's going pretty well, actually. Other than obviously I reset the timer on accident, so don't have the time on screen anymore because it can't see it. Shoot. Okay, we got that at least. Okay, so we can start setting up the exposes. Get a little bit of extra tick damage in. Get the expose down. We got one turn of buildup that we can do before we thrash them. Doesn't really matter too much what we do. So that would probably be best. Start stacking bleed onto the other. So now we got to wipe out that bottom one. So we are going to... Dang it, I was hoping for a better boost card, but this should wipe out that bottom one. And kabam! Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, now we got to deal with the other. Let's actually proc Doom nice and early. They're very resistant to dark type damage, but that's okay. We got the Cyclone Slash already. We can get this to get nice bleed and some extra procs. Then we can do Bushido, that Cyclone, and hopefully the fight is done. Bleeding Poison should do enough, right? Nice. Good. It was a good fight. That was a good fight. Not too shabby. Okay. Saved. Heal up. Don't need to do any menuing yet. So we can head right into the third boss fight. We've fought 4 of our 5 party members already. Let's fight the 5th. Well, we need to fight him in multiple of his masked forms. Okay, that's a relatively good start. Dish in some good damage and bleed to weaken that top one. Got a bunch of stuff. We just need expose, honestly. Honestly, just need expose and a Bushido. Expose, steal your strength, do a bit more tick, get a poison on. If I can get Bushido, I can eliminate that top one right away. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Well, this might not kill anymore because I don't have as much steam as I would like, but it should still kill. Heal off the confusion. Bushido to boost. Crit! And they're gone. Nice. Good. Okay, now we got to deal with the others. Gonna delay you, boost self, and just do a little bit of tick damage to get a haste for next turn, so I got 4 cards. Okay, we can get bleed up. Doom is not great in this fight. Okay, if we get another all in, we can deal with that middle one. We won't need too much extra damage here. Bushido would be nice. Nice. Okay. So now, actually, let's Bushido, expose, and try and take down the bottom one while we have all these buffs on. Nice. Good. Good. That was a good audible. Now we need to start taking down the rest. Build up more steam. And either a Doom Cyclone or just an all-in will finish this fight. Rough that the twins are almost dead, but that's okay. Okay, good. Bushido, Doom, Cyclone Slash, we're done. I should probably make some changes to this route that I did for my 100%. Add in a Brave Buster or 2 for Amelie to do some good damage on fights like these where they're down to super low HP, where it's not beneficial to try for going all in. All right, but that's all the 3 of the anti-fights done. Now we need to do buy recovery items, get swimming salts back up. All of our heals are fine. Get repair elixir if we want. Upgrade Doom, upgrade Cyclone Slash, a Dex. We need a couple Brave Busters for Aspiring Hero and All In. We need Siphon Mind, Epidemic, and Raven Strike for axe hits and exposes. And we need One with the Wind and Cyclone Slash for Stone Lions. Off to the final fight of this chapter. This one can be a tough one. against Gilgamesh. This one is a two-phase fight. A good starting spot is actually right here. This is a good start. We want to weaken him as soon as possible. He can do lots of damage. So if we can lower his stats, that's fantastic. Get a poison in for some good extra damage. We want bleed in and some brave busters so that our melee can dish out some good stuff. Unboosted, but that's okay. They will most likely crit thanks to the Ogre Slayer. That's some good damage. Now we want to start pushing him into the second phase. Boost up there. Don't want Epidemic yet. Get one with the wind on, Bushido on. Start dishing out a bit more damage. We want our melee to be rounding off another round of attacks here. Hopefully. Actually, I'm going to blind him early. Because I don't want to get hit with his attack. Because pretty soon, once he reaches half HP, he will do a full heal. Ow, that hurt. So we are going to shoot. Hopefully shoot. I'm just gonna knock him into next phase and get a bleed on right away. So there's the next phase. He heals. He gets off of all of his gets rid of all of his debuffs. I need to heal Auric quite badly. Get a repair elixir. And we're going to just get some extra hits in, build up some steam. I want poison and doom on. Oh no, he cast the anti-heal on us. I didn't pay attention to that. Shoot. Oh, this is really bad. This Doom Epidemic. This is bad. Whenever he casts that we can't heal, things can go very wrong. Good whiff, thanks to the against all odds. Oric's still alive. No, that's bad. Okay, we can heal now though. Now we're gonna repair potion. We really need Bushido. Okay, they both would have been dead if I didn't heal that. Shoot, I need blind to victory, bravado. Okay, Doom lasts 5 turns now that we upgraded though, that I remember. Just don't hit Auric, please. Thank you. Okay, good. We want to build up as best we can. Bushido. Siphon Mine. Siphon Slash. And hopefully we can take him down. Good. Whew, good. That was rough. That was really dangerous. I hate it when he uses that no one can heal move on my party. I forgot that he had it. So I wasted our repair elixir. Oh, God. It's a great song, though. I love that song. It's a great boss fight song. Okay. Whew. What is it up with me and picking RPGs that are actually really hard at the end? Or speedrunning. All right, on to the final chapter. 2 boss fights left. really calming elevator ride before the final bosses. It's fine. All right, so we need to buy materials. We want 15 of these, and we want red up to 20, so 5. Buy any recovery items to get them all back up. Good. Upgrade. Heroic Strike, Brave Buster, and Bushido. Menu. Put exposes back on for Siphon Mind and Epidemic. And to the bosses. One more bout against Gilgamesh first. Gotta try and finish him off quickly. Like to see those lovely boosted Brave Busters. Don't berserk me, please. Good. So now we can do that. Great damage. There's the berserk. Ideally, we can get another. Okay. Hopefully, this is enough damage to push. Good. Good. Just need to reach a damage threshold. Also, it's strange that those animations count as cards that it's used and he actually does bleed procs on them. It's always a nice little thing to see. Say hello to the final boss. Gilgamesh fancies himself strong enough. It's not quite there. Get him to 0 with bleeds. Yeah, but there's damage gates. He gets down to 1 HP. You can't actually kill him. There's damage gates on quite a few bosses. Like in the first Gilgamesh fight where he heals at once he reaches half HP, you cannot kill him before he heals. There is a damage gate at 1 HP. I've taken him down from like 14,000 HP down to 0 in one turn, and he didn't die because the damage gate was there to leave him with 1 HP, and then he did his full heal. And this boss fight also has damage gates. We need to start building up damage as soon as possible. So let's take down the bottom one first. Just getting exposed down on that bottom one so we can start dishing out damage to it, build up steam. Can't do much damage at all to the main head while it's closed like that. Get good chunks of damage onto this bottom one. Rude. We're gonna prep for a Doom Cycle. Shoot, we can't really prep for Doom Cycle. It's fine. We can just dish out some damage, get a haste in, so we can use a heal onto our melee. Need to get poison on. Poison is what I really want right now. We're not getting the right cards for it though. Shoot. Yeah, I need poison so I can finally take out that top one. I need Brave Busters too. All right, expose that top one, blind it, steal its strength. because the top hand is the physical attack one and it counters physical attacks. The bottom one is elemental and counters elemental attacks. So we're trying to plan accordingly around that. I need to Brave Buster a bunch to take it down. And I'm not getting the right cards for that. Gets a counter, that's fine. Need to dish out the damage. Come on. This is really rude. This is really rude. That is a very bad. This is a very bad first phase. He locked out our melee from finishing off that top arm. All right. This. We now need Doom. This should eliminate that one. Get a nice good chunk of damage to the core. It can't get bled. Okay, that's good. Doom, this will push into next phase right away. Damage gate at half HP. Recovers, closes right back up again, and we gotta rinse and repeat. Expose, steal the top one's strength. Okay, good. Nice. Against all odds, lets us get poison back up. Okay, not the greatest. Dang it. Shoot. Not good cards. Get some decent damage onto there. Keep the poison up. We want Brave Busters. We want good damage from our melee. This. Get bleed on there. Shoot. This. Get bleed on the top one, because we're also trying to build up for a nice Doom Cyclone as soon as the mob opens back up. Find that it's countered. Get bleed on there. I messed up the timer, Caddy, so I just closed it. Okay. That's not great. Bushido Self, EI. Take down that bottom one for sure. It was also practice. I'm not expecting much. Okay, bottom one's down. Just the top one to deal with. Ideally, we want poison, which we can get. Okay, we should be able to close this out now. Expose should let the next Brave Buster take down that one. We want to set up Doom Cyclone. Oh, you jerk. It's like the worst things he could have done. We need Doom for sure. Just get a Repair Elixir on the twins. It's a very rude turn. Okay, we need Doom. Okay, EI is set up. Or Bushido is set up. That's all we need. That's all we need is Doom, and this fight is over. And we didn't get it. Great. Oh boy. Come on, game. Also, hi, Calby. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, okay, that's fine. Still fine. Okay, there's our Doom. Okay, we need to get rid of that blind. We need to cast Doom, and we need to Cyclone Slash. This gets them down to 1 HP. Unfortunately, I didn't have bleed, which would have allowed me to actually finish the fight right then and there. Does a small recover. We literally just need like a couple hits. Bap. Bap. Time. And that is the run of SteamWorld Quest. That was a rough final phase. That was a rough second phase. Didn't get at all the chance to do what we wanted to. That was rough. We got stopped, we got status effect, it never gave us the cards we wanted, but that is the run of SteamWorld Quest. And I got the showcase in the middle of it to submit the incentive for the duck truck. But I'm gonna get to the credits and then I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And then we're gonna swap over to Yakuza 0 to record our incentives. And I want to let the credits roll. And then I'm gonna head to the bathroom. But not too bad. Not too bad. Honestly, that was like what? I'm at 2 hours and 30 minutes live. I started probably 10-ish, 15-ish minutes in. So like 215, 220? Not too shabby. Not too shabby. But here's your credits. I will go to the bathroom, then we're gonna swap to Yakuza Like a Dragon to just record some footage for the incentives that I'm gonna submit.
Red the heart and blue the mind. Green the hills that we call home. Yellow sun is soon to rise. Purple shadows flee the night. Whispers from a different time. Worry springs from the north. Be my eyes when I am blind. Share my dreams as we go. With your hand in mine. Your hand in mine.
And so ends the adventure for our heroes. At least, until next time.
Heck, Myth's also redeemed a stretch. Myth's also redeemed a stretch that I need to do. Self-care is important. And I needed it today. I'm like really sore. I think while I was doing my GDQ submission run yesterday, I was incredibly tense because I woke up with a lot of neck and upper shoulder pain. I think I was incredibly tense during it. So yeah, I'm feeling weirdly sore today. Slept for half the run and I'm still insanely tired. I feel you there too. I did not sleep well either. Along with feeling very sore today, I'm also tired. I already had 2 cups of coffee today and I'm still pretty tired. But luckily the rest of this stream is going to be chill because we're just going to swap on over to Yakuza Like a Dragon and record some incentives so that after after stream, I can cut some videos, some short videos together, upload them to YouTube, and submit them as incentives for the GDQ runs. Always tired, just different levels of tired. Also fair. Also, I feel that, Calvi. My tiredness is strange. I am not a morning person. 1,000% not a morning person. I always wake up incredibly tired. And then I'm still relatively tired until like 11-ish. Then I start feeling pretty all right. And then that energy level like steadily keeps going up. Like it goes up all the way until I'm at bed, which is awful. Because that means by the time I need to go to bed, I'm ready to go. I'm still ready to keep getting stuff done. And then I'm just like, but I need to go to bed. That's been the standard for as long as I can remember. It's that late nights, I am good to go. I am ready, which is awful for trying to be in stinking mechanical engineer and be in office hours from 8-ish to 5-ish. Ugh. You've always been a morning person? That is also fair. I don't know. I don't know why I'm not a morning person, but I'm just not. And I have to maintain a relatively close to morning person attitude to just maintain my professional career, unfortunately. So I can't. I need to take more steps to get better sleep levels. Because, yeah, last week was awful. I got like on average 5 hours of sleep every night that last week. Mostly because I was being stubborn and doing things in Elden Ring to try and beat it and beat tough bosses when I needed to freaking go to bed, but I'd say that counts as a morning person, is being awake at 6 a.m., but but I don't know. I have no perspective anymore. But yeah, let's swap on over to Yakuza Like a Dragon and record some incentives. Okay, unplug this. Turn on the PS5. Oh, I need to flip the power switch. Game capture. Told you to get used to it. I can assure you that if you're not a morning person, that is a lie. Yep. I cannot. I absolutely just cannot transition fully to being a morning person. It just does not work. I have tried. It's bad. Because I'm just like never tired before midnight. No matter how early I wake up, I'm almost never tired before midnight. Let's head on over to Yakuza. Start doing some incentive recording. Saiko's live split. Quest can go down. Game captures up. All right. This is probably good enough to capture the costume choices. We'll do 5 characters with costume. We don't normally change the costume of Jungi Han, but as an incentive I want to. Because it's just one quick trip over to Hello Work. And Jungi Han's got some cool costumes. All right. So this is the costume change incentive for Yakuza Like a Dragon. We can change into a bunch of different costumes for... We'll do it for 5 characters. We'll do it for Ichi, Eri, Adachi, Jungi Han, and Sayako. Nanba and Zhao are unfortunately not in the run long enough for us to feasibly get them into different gear, because you'll see it for Zhao, you'll never see it. For Nanba, you'll see it for like 15 minutes, and that's only 1/16 of the run. Not worth it. But we will see these 5 enough. And some of the costumes that we can select. I will probably narrow this list down to 3 or 4 costumes per character. That way it's hopefully we can get a nice sorting in, and people can choose between a limited option set between all of them. But we have host normal, A and B, just different color schemes. I'll probably just call it host as the costume. Then we can be Kiryu, Onomichio, can be a cleaning crew, have a funeral suit, be another Kazuma Kiryu, Yakuza 0 version, Goro Majima, Ryuji Goda, Daigo Dojima, Date, Seijima. And I don't think Hero is available. I think Hero is once you beat the game, so Hero won't be available. But we could also be Bleach Japan. So I'll probably end up picking 4 of these. Probably probably like Majima, Dojima, Host, and Kiryu. Probably pick those 4 for Ichi. For Eri, we've got the dealer class. She can also be Haruka. Everyone can be Onomichio. I will probably end up putting Onomichio on a couple of the characters if people wanna overlap that. She can be Kaoru Sayama, also Bleach Japan, Songhee, or Hamako. Hamako would be a great one for Eri. So probably Hamako, Onomichio, Haruka, and Dealer for Eri. Adachi has the Enforcer class. It can also be Date. Date would be a great one for Adachi. Onomichio could be a security guard, funeral suit, or he can be Yakuza 0 Kiryu, as well as Bleach Japan, funeral suit. For Jungi Han, we normally don't change his class at all, but we see he's in the rest of the run once he joins us, so I can take another trip to Hello Work to change him over, because he's got some good one. This is the normal outfit he would be in. He's got Shun Akayama, another Onomichio. Oh my god, I actually haven't seen that with his with his leather jacket. That's great. Jungi Han Yakuza 6 version, which is looking fine. And then obviously Bleach Japan as well. Probably the top 4 for Jungi Han there. And for Sayako, she gets the hostess. She can also be Sayama, Onomichio. She can have her Chinese pub employee dress, funeral suit. She can also be Haruka. She can also be Songhee and Hamako. Unfortunately, hers do overlap with Aries pretty heavily, so I'll have to try and differentiate their values slightly in what can be selected. But these are the costumes that can be selected, and they're great, and you see them whenever this character is in battle. If we were playing New Game Plus, you can see costumes outside of battle, but in the regular playthrough, you can only see them in battle. But they're awesome, and I love these different costumes.
応援しています
Okay. And that is showing off the different costumes. Riza, hi. What? 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 What, puppy? What? Hi. Hi. What? I know. You want to go for a walk. Yeah? Yeah? Hi. Sweet baby girl. Hi. I know. You're so good. I know. You just want to go for a walk. We'll go for a walk soon. We'll go for a walk soon. I just got to record we just got to record the Pound Mate showcase. Okay? Okay? Okay, puppy? Okay? Yeah. Okay. Got to record the Pound Mate. Okay. Oh, we'll be back. The Pound Mate showcase is gonna have to take some maneuvering. So the best load that I can do, because we're gonna need 1,000,000 yen at whatever point we do it to showcase Seijima. Howdy, Juice. Thanks for stopping by. We're just recording the incentives for submission to GDQ. Chapter 15 save? Oh, do I have a chapter 15 save? Okay, I do. I do have a chapter 15 save. How much money do I have in here? Not 1,000,000. I can fudge 1,000,000 though. I can fudge 1,000,000 though. I'm gonna sell the dragon knuckles. Yep. Off to here. Sell. Dragon knuckles. All right. Probably want to prep a save file with the money in a place where it'll be easy to do. No, I would do it throughout the run. I would just do it throughout the run. I wouldn't be showcasing them separately. I'd just be watching the cutscene at least once while I'm doing the run. And Zhao, this is when we used to get the Hades amulet. You need that officer. So I can enter into a fight. I need a fight to spawn. There is one. Okay. So now I'm going to showcase all of the essences and pound mates that I would showcase during the GDQ run if the incentive is met. So starting off with Jungi Han. Jungi Han has Essence of Phantom Drive. They're all cutscene style attacks that normally we skip as we are doing a playthrough, because it's obviously pretty fast to have an ability that you can just skip. But I love these animations, and they're fantastic. And Ichi has a lot of great ones, but we're going to start off with his essences as well. This is Essence of Mayhem, involving our whole party. I didn't know Aerie threw box cutters at him. That's great. Bam! Yes, you'll finally be able to see Robson too. Aerie. We actually don't use any of Aerie's essences, so she doesn't get to have anything to show off. So I'm just gonna keep progressing the fight here until I showcase another essence. Adachi's got a pretty great essence here. He's got the essence of Shield Rupture. Charge up. Yeah. Shockwave. This fight's gonna be over before I can showcase them all. All right, Ichi's got one more essence to show off. I believe that's all the essences. Yes, this is all the essences that we use. Roadside weapon, that we can't do. Or that I'm not gonna... I'll have to maybe find a video, but we can showcase that. Yeah, it's Rose Typhoon. Lovely, holy Rose ability. Yeah, Essence of Roadside Weapon. We don't have the... I would have to run all the way to the end. So that one won't get showed off. Unfortunately, in this little snippet here. But now that the essences are done, we can get onto the Poundmate summons. Got Gary Buster Holmes to start off. I love the summon animation too. Get him, Gary. Got him. Lucky that leaves everyone stunned so that we can show off some more. Everyone's gonna be guard. Yeah, we can skip the use animation. Oh shoot, this save doesn't have Ilyujin, so I'll have to load up a different one. But now we've got Kiryu. Yeah, and you don't need to see that animation every time, but we can do this one. Get him, Kiryu. Don't mess with the dragon. Don't mess with the dragon. And I'll have to load up a save that's nighttime to show off two of them. Now we've got Majima. The Hanya. Love it. Ah, rude. Now we get to show off. Finally, everyone gets to see Robson in action. Get him, Robson! Get him, Robson! Very good, Robson. This enemy has way too much HP. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna... Alright, we got 3 more pound mates to show off? Yeah, I think 3 more pound mates to show off. Robson is fantastic. Yeah, those guys are weak to lightning, but I'm just like... just trying to get to where we can show off the other things. Seijima's still on cooldown, so we got our just run. And then we're going to have to load up a save file that is nighttime to show off Masochist and Gondawara. And I will premise... Masochist and Gondawara that the GDQ staff can have a say on if they want to show those or not, because this is an M-rated game and it has suggestive themes, and those might be pushing what our GDQ wants to show. But Seijima. Also, I need to do Ilyujin. But Seijima's here. He's a strong one, that Seijima. Also, hi, Aurora. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, let's... We got 3 more to show off. We're gonna have to load up. So we have Ilyujin, Masochist, and Gondawara. Hi, Nikki. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks, and you too. That save file has Ilyujin, probably. This one's at night, though. Oh, shoot. No. I should do Ilyujin first for the sake of my editing. To make my editing a little bit nicer. No, we aren't going to show off Nancy. Nancy's not in the route. So Nancy won't get shown. Actually, I can show off everything here because I can swap to night here. Yeah, if we go to the bar, we can swap to night in post-game. Shoot, how do we... There it is. Now we get to nighttime. Yeah, Essence of Roadside Weapon, it will be just a lovely add-on later, but can't really show that off here. I don't have the level for it. All right. Now we get to see Ilyujin.
나도 사랑해.
Amazing. I probably should have just finished the fight. Yeah, I should have finished the fight. This is really slowed. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Let's get back to Ichi's turn. All right. For the next two summons, I will premise they do have some suggestive themes. I will leave it up to the GDQ staff's discretion if you want to have these showed or not. And I completely understand if you do not. So we are going to start with Gondawara. Gondawara is a strange one. Honestly, I would probably veto Gondawara. I would honestly veto Gondawara, and I would be okay with that. Well, that guy just blew up. Don't taunt Ichi, you damn it. Well, Jungi Han finished him off. Good. All right, and the last pound mate to show off is Mr. Masochist. Again, I would leave this up to your discretion, and also your discretion if you don't want me to call him out as Mr. Masochist, even though that is his name. So... And that is all the summons I can showcase that are used in the run. So, hopefully you enjoyed. You can let me know which ones you don't want to showcase, and I will completely understand. Honestly, if I would have a choice myself, I wouldn't show Gondawara. I'd be fine with showing Mr. Masochist because it's very comically styled. But yeah, that is all. That is all for the Essence and Pound Debate showcase. It's going to be great for estimating how much time it's going to take, too. Yeah, Masochist has a payoff. Gondawara is just like, no. Also, this is an essence that Adachi has that we don't use. Time for this grapple. Daytona, let's go away. There it is. All right. Well, I think that's it. I think that's all I can show, or that I've got to. That's all I was gonna show off, right? Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna pull an audible and just not show Gondawara. I'm not even gonna include in the incentive submission. Yeah, I'm fine with just completely not showing that one. It is just, yeah, it's uncomfortable. it's uncomfortable for me to even watch it. I'm just like, eh. Like I get what the joke is going for and stuff like that, but it's just like, eh, nah. I'm fine with not showing that one off. Masochist, yeah, has a payoff at least. And then yeah, Essence of Roadside Weapon. If we'll just have to showcase that in the final fight, because the final fight, because yeah, there's no fast way to get to the final fight to showcase that, because Ichi needs to be, excuse me, needs to be freelancer level 26 or something like that to get Essence of Roadside Weapon. Like, he needs to be very high freelancer level, and the game just gives that to you for that final fight. But it doesn't give it back to you in New Game Plus. All right. And I think that's everything. I think that covers it all, and that's where I'm going to end stream. I will clip together a showcase of everything, or clip together some videos, one for Duck Truck for SteamWorld Quest, one for all the costume selections, for Yakuza Like a Dragon, and then all the pound mates and essences. Yeah, that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. Hope everyone enjoyed the D-Rust run of SteamWorld Quest. It was a little messy, but I still enjoy that run, and that game is still a lot of fun to play. And yeah, hopefully we shall see. And I don't know how long it typically takes for them to go through all the submissions. Like a month. We'll see if either of those two get accepted, but that would be awesome if they do. But yeah, that will be it for me today. I will be back next weekend. We'll have to do a shiny hunt next weekend. It's been too long since I've done a shiny hunt. And then we'll probably do another Yakuza Like a Dragon speedrun on Sunday to see what we can do with it still. I'm thinking we could get that sub 357. Thinking we can get that a sub 357. I feel like that's my immediate goal, as well as to keep it relatively fresh in my brain while I'm still doing this. I might have to take a break for a while from Yakuza Like a Dragon soon to focus on some other stuff. So yeah, we'll see. Sunday may be a speedrun, Sunday may not be, but Saturday I will be back for a shiny hunt. A chill hangout time where I spin in circles, we listen to music, and we just hang out. I think we should go say hi, actually, to Froob. Why not go say hi to Froob? I haven't rated Froob yet. Froob's in the middle of specifically a Yakuza Like a Dragon speedrun. So if you want to check out Froob do a run of this, and Froob's commentary is fantastic for speedruns, and he's a great guy. Feel free to hang on out with Froob. I'll probably be there in the background, silently there to offer any advice if Froob needs it, because as I was the one who did a bunch of the route changes, so I'm perfectly fine with it, but Froob has the old route still very heavily stuck in his head, so it's still a learning process. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'll be back next weekend, Saturday for sure, with a shiny hunt, and we will see about Sunday. But yeah, thanks again. Have yourselves a wonderful night, and go wish Froob some good luck on the run. Hopefully he's on a good pace. I can't quite tell based on the preview, but hopefully he's on PB pace. But yeah, thanks again. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Goodbye. Goodbye.